Hello, everyone. This is JPL, and today I'm joined with
Christopher
yes, we're a podcast name in brackets.
bracket.
Hello, Christopher. How are you doing today?
Feeling a little iffy. So took some ibuprofen. So we'll see when that will wear off.
Ibuprofen.
Mm-hmm.
Very important stuff.
Yes. Helps function.
Apparently,
How are you, John?
I am. I'm fine.
Just fine.
Yeah. I guess I'm filming on Friday. That sounds cool.
Where are you filming on Friday?
I don't know. I just got the text. I guess I'm a lawyer or something.
Okay.
Okay, so that's cool.
Guess that is cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm supposed to talk about that, but okay.
How has your summer job been?
Fine. It's been
Summer-esque
fine.
job. Okay.
Yeah. Finished this past weekend. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I was in charge of everything, so
Yeah. So are you still doing this, or this is done now?
it's done.
Okay.
Yeah. My boss will be doing the high school kids, so
Okay.
I don't really
Cool.
have the time for that one because next week, family and all that.
Okay.
So now I just gotta clean,
Mm-hmm.
clean, and I guess be a lawyer on Friday. That should be fun.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Anyway, Friday had a very embarrassing thing happen.
Oh.
At the beginning of each show, director comes out, gives announcements with a handheld mic. I forgot to replace the batteries on the handheld mic,
Oh no.
but right before that, just right before he goes on, he comes to me. He's like, "Hey, John, this mic only has 2 bars left on it," and I'm thinking, "Yeah, that should be good for about 10 minutes." He
And it
goes,
wasn't?
he goes out there and it's working, and then he goes, "Anyway, I'd like to thank the sound team, John," and he cuts off.
No. No. That's
Everybody in the audience
amazing.
laughs, thinking it's part of the joke. Um, you know, some people I know the audience were listening to what other people were saying. They're like, "Oh my gosh, he's so good," because Nelson is doing his Nelson improv thing.
Right.
Um, but still,
We love Nelson. Oh my
that
gosh.
was a moment.
That is a moment.
I'm not. That's not gonna go anywhere anytime soon. My boss wasn't there to see that happen, so
So he has to hear about it.
yeah. But they recorded it.
Oh, they did.
They
Oh my
did.
gosh.
So yeah,
Fun.
fun times. Being the
That
sound
is
guy.
fun. Yes.
At least now I know to replace the batteries.
Yes. Very. As Gershner would say, double and triple check.
2 bars. It can last you maybe half an hour to an hour in your car.
Yeah.
But with batteries, 2 minutes.
Rip.
Rip. It was a rip moment. It really was. I was so embarrassed. It's like it happened. I'm like, oh no. Oh no, there's nothing I can do.
Amazing.
Yeah. What a great start to a show. And then one of the kids just forgot their lyrics.
Of course they did.
And they had 2 whole stanzas by themselves.
Oh no.
It's like, and it's like, that's the way it is. And then and that happens twice. And like, it was so awkward. It's also, felt bad for the kid because
Right.
they were doing good, and then it got to that part. It was like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think I've had anything at work super eventful. I can't remember. Coverage was really tight, though. Really tight. But
Play type.
this week I think will be better. So that'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
I did go to a concert yesterday, and we'll be talking about mixes in a moment.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, I made a mix for that concert because I'm not super familiar with the songs. And guess what? In typical me fashion, I didn't listen to the mix till the day of the concert. So with that, I
You
didn't.
listened to the songs twice.
I listened to it twice, yes. Um, with that, I also didn't re-listen to the Hey Ocean mix until today.
It's fine.
Classic me.
That's
Anyways, so the artist is Disciple. This concert was booked like less than a week before it happened. So they are in the middle of a tour, but this was the last minute edition. Found out about it, like, yeah, I kind of want to go. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast before, but I was planning to see them in November, but that was going to be farther away, and then I found out it was an acoustic show. I'm like, nah. And then I had car problems. But in November, I went through most of their discography to prep for the show, which kind of made me realize I'm not that into their music, but I still like to see live thing. You know what I mean? Because I feel like many bands are pretty fun live.
Sure.
I got through all of their albums except for one of the albums and their B-sides of that album. And then since then, they released the Worship album. So I think that's what I did. On Saturday, I listened to their Worship album. And on Sunday, I listened to that album, the 2014 album, the 2015 B-sides project, and went through the mix twice, once at home and once on the way to the concert.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, second time going through the mix, I took out the songs I was familiar with. Concert was great. Really loud, but really enjoyed it. Picked up a vinyl because why not?
Picked up a vinyl.
Yep, sure did. So yeah, I think that was and then on the ticket of the concert, they had the wrong address on it.
Oh.
Thankfully, I left early enough, but the thing is, I ended up driving onto someone's private property. And you know how those farmlands can be really bumpy roads.
Mm-hmm.
I used to drive a Blazer. I don't drive that anymore. So, that's a pretty high rise of a car, and my van isn't. So I think I dinged up the bottom of my van. And now the brake light won't turn off. So when I got home from the concert, I unplugged the battery from my car. So now that is what I have to do. Tighten up the screw, drive the car, back home, unplug the battery. Because if I just leave it plugged in, I'm not going to have a battery. And I just got a battery.
So even more car problems.
More car problems, John. I'm really pissed off about this.
Well, it just sounds great, Christopher. Car problems. We really needed those.
My gosh. What makes it worse is that, yeah, I just spent close to $1,000 last month on car stuff. And now I have more. I'm really, really not happy about this.
Yeah, and gas went up.
Gas is. Here's the thing. Like I was okay with like a little bit going up, right? I'm like, okay, whatever, right? It's not stopping.
I know. It's like it's almost $5.
Yeah.
Remember, like when it was 3 something, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is horrible."
I remember I got you gas for like $3.69 or something.
Now it's a whole dollar more.
I'm really like mentally just like trying to plan out my trips now.
I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next semester.
Might as well live on campus at that point. It might be cheaper.
Right? I don't like gas.
Nope.
I have to fill up soon.
Rip.
I've been trying like to hold out as much as I can.
But the issue with holding out is that it's gonna rise.
I know. I should have filled it when it was like 4:30, like a week or two ago.
Uh-huh.
But I thought like, nah, I can wait it out a bit. Maybe it will be less by like a 5 cents or so. Nope, goes up a whole dollar.
At this rate, I'd probably just get gas every day.
Like at this point, I just buy a whole truckload of that oil trucker. Just put it in my yard, get gas from there. Time travel, you know?
Yeah, yep.
Time travel, go back to like a year ago when gas was only like $2.
Oh my gosh.
That was only a year ago. Like it was less than 6 months ago. It was $2. Now it's almost 5. I mean, you know, it was like this with Obama, but I don't want to talk about that.
All I'm I'm okay with like a little bit of inflation because that happens, right? But this is ridiculous, and now like I'm getting worried. Like
it's almost $3.
How am I gonna survive? Like I'm legitimately worried.
I mean, supposedly it'll get smaller next year, but
when? Sooner.
Sooner.
Help! Why?
Russia's being stupid. But we knew that.
Everything is stupid.
I mean, it is stupid. But we knew that. Anyway.
I don't need car problems now when I'm paying for gas.
I know.
I kind of want to wait this out, though, till first off I save more money. But this is such a freaking hassle. I have to get to work, unplug my battery. When I want to go home, I have to plug in my battery. When I get home, I have to unplug my battery. The freaking frick.
I have to go to Roanoke for stuff. Then I have to go to Raleigh at some point this month.
I'm so glad you came before all this. But even then, it was still going up.
Even then, it just started going up as soon as I was leaving. Man, this is just not a great time.
It's not a great time.
No.
I'm almost like, I need a job. But wait, whoops, I have a job.
I know, right?
I don't love this.
Yeah. That's how it was in the 70s or 60s.
Mm.
But it was worse back then.
Still bad now.
At least that's how it looks like in the documentaries. Back when people still fill gas for you. And you had to pay the person filling up your gas.
All right. Yeah, we should just move on. I don't want to think about reality right now.
Reality. Yeah. Yeah, that's... I sent you a video.
Yes.
I just got into this person like yesterday, and I just can't stop laughing at their stuff. It's Stephen He, who is mostly known for emotional damage.
Oh, that's the same guy. Okay.
That's the same guy. But like, all this stuff is hilarious. I'm not Asian, but I know people, and it's real. It's hilarious.
The funniest thing he said was the fact that it was parents trying to essentially one up each other,
Uh-huh.
and then they got to like depressing stuff one up being each other, and then one of them says, "My son can't make rice," and that got me so bad. Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah, no. Funny stuff.
Funny stuff.
It's good to laugh. Anyway. So yeah, that's that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been doing that. I told you I finished Jessica Jones.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Okay, how was
The first season? The
first season? How was that?
I mean, I still think it's good. It is a slow build at times.
Mm-hmm.
But that could also just be the style of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's more noir.
Mm-hmm.
It is more told as a lengthy movie
Mm-hmm.
versus an episodic adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So it can, feel stretched at times, but I still think they did a good job for each episode.
So for what I've seen, Agent Carter would be like an episodic adventure, right?
Correct.
And then Loki would be a stretched out movie.
Yes.
Okay.
But Loki had less, I feel like had less of a story. and an emotional weight and depth to the characters. Yeah. And a lot less characters as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I also watched and finished Daredevil Season 2.
Okay. Been busy.
See, I think I finished Jessica Jones last week.
I don't remember you mentioning that at all.
See, like we kind of speedrunned it.
Well, also what did we talk about last week?
See, remember. That's what I said. We speedran it.
Okay.
But no.
So, which is better, first season Jessica Jones or second season Daredevil?
Ooh, I'd say Daredevil. Because Daredevil is more my show.
Yeah.
Love second season Daredevil, but like it does get into some problems where they do multiple storylines that don't exactly mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it really shows when you get to the finale, but they try.
Now, you have seen it. You'll rewatch it, but third season Daredevil, which is better, for second or third?
See, that's tough. I'm going to have to watch the third season to get there.
Okay. We'll talk about it then.
It's really tough.
Okay. You know what? I want you, this might be fun, to rank all the seasons.
Yeah. Anyway, right now I'm halfway through Luke Cage.
Thank you for pushing me off, John. I feel loved.
I know. No, I'll probably do that. Okay. But yeah, right now I'm halfway through Luke Cage.
Okay.
The first season.
How's that coming along?
It's not. I'm not the audience for the show. Like there's some good moments, but it's it can get slow, and it's definitely more for a black audience, which I'm not.
Would you wish it was trying to present itself to a white audience.
See,
if you know what I mean.
I mean, they were trying to do a specific thing.
Okay.
And I get it. The style that they were going with works with what they were trying to do. But I remember watching this and thought it was really boring. The first time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't love a lot of it. But again, I'm not the audience for that show.
That makes sense. Still better than Loki?
See, Loki is 6 episodes. This is 13. See, it gets to a point where
length becomes a factor.
Yes. Especially with like Luke Cage. 13 episodes is a lot.
Mm-hmm. So I guess let's see what Marvel news we've had. Did we talk about I Am Groot?
We did.
We did. We didn't talk about Miss Marvel on the podcast yet.
No, that just came out.
Yes. So again, my expectations weren't necessarily high for the show. That saying, it has essentially met my expectations. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This kind of having that high school vibe, that we're not really into it, right? And that style isn't necessarily appealing to a degree, for me.
I mean, it's sort of unique to Marvel,
but
at least.
That is true. That is true. So at least on Marvel's end, it's unique in a general sense. Not completely in love with that vibe. However, I think it's relatively sweet of a show. You know what I mean?
It's charming.
I think for what it is, it's good so far.
It's charming. I can't get past the power change.
But just a moment. I think my favorite element though is the visual aspect. The people behind the show actually admitted that Into the Spider-Verse was a heavy influence on the show.
Cool.
But kind of, I think this is one of the best aspects of the show, the visual aspect. I mean, like how they displayed the text messages was really creative. I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, so I think I got what I was expecting, which, I think the last few Marvel things, I just, Multiverse of Madness, like, I got the visual aspect from, Multiverse of Madness, and I didn't really was expecting anything with Moon Knight except the fact that everyone was hyped about it. But yeah, I'm not, quote, in love with Miss Marvel, but I'm getting what I'm expecting, and it's not bad. It's just different. So, power change, talk about that. Because that's more your department, not mine.
See, it's more my department. So before Miss Marvel had powers similar to Mr. Fantastic, where her body was more elastic and could stretch, she could also make herself ginormous, like Ant-Man when he does that, which was staple to her character. Part of her character was that because of her elastic powers, she could do. I believe she could morph into different things, and so that it's that teenage image of this is how I look and whatnot. Instead, they take away all that and give her a bracelet that produces cosmic energy type thing. So essentially, she's Green Lantern. They still have the visual of her arms going out and doing the giant hand thing, but like now it's Now it's kind of lame. And like I said it to you before on Discord. I said it looks like something TV shows do to save money. Looks cheaper to make it look like energy instead of looking like human skin. And this is something from just watching a lot of superhero shows where it's like these superheroes have these giant, big powers that require a lot of money, but they save money by making it look different. So basically, the CW. They work their way around it. So it's cheaper to do cosmic energy to make realistic human skin, because She-Hulk. They're probably doing a lot of money on that, but still, it's
Not to
not
mention
quite
9
there.
episodes.
Still not quite there. So, plus Disney Plus in general, they're not giving it the same amount of budget they would a film.
Just in general, like again with Marvel, essentially our average is 4 movies, 4 shows a year, not to mention animated stuff. You know, I don't think we're necessarily demanding 4 movies, 4 shows a year. I think most people would be fine if Marvel, took their time to try to perfect things. You know what I mean? Not to mention, I feel like Phase 4's kind of almost tagline has been comic book accuracy. And I mean, I guess maybe we'll see how Miss Marvel's power change will come into play in the Marvels next year. But
Sure.
a lot of people are complaining about CGI, especially with She-Hulk. Just like, I think most people would have been okay if She-Hulk debuted next year if they took their time with CGI. Like, we're not. It's fun. We're getting so much things, but I don't think we're dying.
But it's an industry problem in general to like rush the CG effects. Like even in most films, the reason why it doesn't look as good is because you're not spending that much time on it, and they're not paying that much money to them for that time.
I mean, I know I pitched this idea before, but wouldn't it be cool if they George Lucas'd their catalog?
Meaning,
they went back to refine things.
Yes. I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. I think most people would.
But like, it's still like in the moment, because they're still in the moment. They've not reached that point yet where they feel like they should.
Yeah. With me not necessarily knowing the history of her powers, it really doesn't necessarily affect things for me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know her as much. She's a
But
newer
you're
character.
more familiar than I am.
She's a newer character to me. She's much newer. I believe she came out in 2014.
Sometime in the past 10-esque years.
Yeah, it's in the past decade where she came out. I know that she's in a couple animated things. She was in one of the most recent Marvel games, which wasn't very good, but she's getting more representation. So, also she's an Inhuman
in the comics.
Yes.
We'll see what they'll do here.
Well, no, because it's a cosmic bracelet. I wonder if it has anything to do with that 9 rings, 10 rings, or what is it?
That'll be interesting.
Because like they were saying like, oh, the rings. We don't know what it is. I'm wondering if they're going through a route where it's like, these ancient artifacts.
I mean, they do tend to tie a lot of things together, so that's a strong possibility.
That's a guess. Even still,
they have a lot going on.
Yeah.
So, Blade is reportedly going to start filming next year.
Okay.
Miss Marvel is the highest rated TV show on Rotten Tomatoes at 97%. Now, for context,
It's
What
just
if
one
was-
episode.
It is. Well, no, they got 2 episodes. The critics got 2 episodes. But still, yes.
For the audience, it's 1 episode.
Well, on IMDb, it's been review bombed. By 1
Currently,
stars.
for us, it's 1 episode.
For us, it's 1 episode. Let's see. Disney Plus says Miss Marvel happens after midnight. It does seem like a spring time show.
Sure.
Let's see. Did you see anything about Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolt?
The Thunderbolts movie has been given the green light.
Oh, the Thunderbolt Ross.
Well, I mean, we don't have Ross now.
I mean, the Thunderbolts.
We have the Thunderbolts officially given a green light.
Okay.
Expected to start filming next year in the summer as well.
So either they'll recast or
I think they'll
Red
go
Hulk.
with Val from Falcon and Winter Soldier, personally. But I could be wrong.
See, you can't have Thunderbolt without Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk. Would not be right.
What I'm really curious is Ross and She-Hulk. If that's the case, they can easily just transform him into a CGI character, and then we have someone else be Ross, essentially, if he's pure CGI.
Sure.
Like, they could do that, but now the question is Ross and She-Hulk?
I just recast him at this point if they don't have footage.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't necessarily know history about the Thunderbolts, but it's been given a green light. And to make us a little worried, yes, he did co-write Ragnarok, but the writer of Thunderbolts is the writer of Black Widow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have official names for the cast but there's been a few floating, but nothing's official yet.
Okay. Well, there they go.
Well, it's a series. We'll see what will happen when it happens, but at the same time, I'm just in a point where I'm just eating when I'm being fed. I don't necessarily care. Extended cut of No Way Home is coming to theaters in September, so that's where both the deleted scenes went.
What?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Spider-Man No Way Home, the more fun stuff version, hits theaters September 2nd.
Okay, how much longer is it, though?
Reportedly an extra 15 minutes.
See, I can wait.
Wait for it to hit digital?
Yeah.
I'm very divided how I feel about this. I'm even at a point right now where I'm wondering, am I actually going to see Lightyear in theaters just because of money? And even the new Thor. Thor, I'm not going to be able to see opening night, so that might be a while till I get to that one. But I'm very divided with the No Way Home info. I mean, it would be fun. Again, the theater thing, people laughing or whatever,
Sure.
That's definitely a movie that doesn't hit as hard watching it at home, but I don't know. That's a movie I'd be content watching on the small screen.
See, I don't know, having it re-released in theaters is the way to do it.
They want their $2 billion. They want to say it hit $2 billion.
Okay.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Sure, but a year later, I don't know.
Okay, but here, you know what's worse? When they re-release Endgame to theaters and tacked on a deleted scene to overtake Avatar. Now, cool, yay, it overtook Avatar. That's great, but that's even
Right.
more of a cash grab than this.
See,
This, at least they waited a year, and at least we're getting content for the movie instead of a deleted scene in a trailer and a little tribute. You know what I mean?
right, but at least Endgame was still around the release time. That they stretched as long as they could. Here, it's a whole year later.
But then, so you think more people would have been willing to rewatch Endgame for that?
What?
You think more people would have been willing to watch that Endgame re-release than No Way Home extended cut a year later?
I say yes, because again, it's still around the same time it released, so new people who haven't seen it could go and see it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that could still be the same with No Way Home, but at that point, it's a year later.
Mm-hmm.
It's all on DVD.
Mm-hmm. Digital, even.
Right. It might even come to Netflix. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man is on Netflix.
I saw that.
It's
What about 2? So 2's not on there? Just
Nope.
the first one?
Just
That's
the first one.
so funny.
It's just the first one.
Just the first one. I mean, thought I did hear that No Way Home's hitting stars, but hasn't happened yet.
Mm.
Oh. That'll be... yeah, I mean, it's fun that they're doing that. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure, it's fun to get more footage, but a whole year later.
I'm still just a little pissed that they advertised the deleted scenes and they weren't on the DVD. Like they should have made up their minds by then. You know what I mean? Not in between announcing the deleted scenes and the release of the DVD.
Sure.
Did you see the petition from fans asking for Morbius to hit theaters a third time? Their main excuse is we were busy that week.
It's Morbin time.
It's Morbid time. That is legitimately a beautiful meme. Did you get the shirt yet? I haven't yet.
No, I have no plans.
Oh, you have no plans to? Okay, I have plans to. That's a good looking shirt. I just wish there was like what is it? An apostrophe? I just wish there was an apostrophe at Morbin. There isn't, but anyways,
Picky.
It's a beautiful shirt.
Picky apostrophe. Here's the thing: you could find multiple shirts.
But that design looks good. That's the issue.
It is a good design. It's affordable.
It's affordable too, yeah. But most of the designs I've seen is just like in plain text. Which honestly, if the if the slogan didn't take off as hard as it did, I probably would have just made one for myself like that. You know what I mean? But It has, so obviously now I want one that looks good.
Yeah. Funny.
A new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse still has revealed that the first look at the Spot, a villain whose whole body is covered in interdimensional portals.
Yeah, I saw that.
You did. What do you think?
I think it's cool.
It'll be interesting for sure. They're really raising the stakes of it, I feel.
Raising the stakes.
I mean, that's quite a superpower to have. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you consist of? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that can be some serious damage that can happen.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Season 2 started feeling... Yeah. Okay, so was it episode 4 of Obi?
Obi. I mean, I thought it was fine. It's a very simple adventure. It's a shorter episode this week. It was exactly. It just went exactly the way it would, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Obi, of course, it's a story that's definitely meant to be a film. It originally was going to be a movie, but then
Really?
Solo
Yeah.
bombed, and they rethought their entire movie thing.
But the thing is, you actually have the cast for this.
I know. I still enjoyed it. It did some really cool things, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's probably better once the whole thing is released to watch the story that way. So I think people are, one, they're impatient, which I get. Two, it's not what they were thinking was going to be, which I get. But like, I don't know what they were thinking was going to be. I said more action because they're pretty lenient right now with the action.
So, are you expecting a Hawkeye episode 6, where it's essentially pure action?
See, we're going to get a big battle. That's for sure. And that's what everyone's knowing is going to happen. That's what we're waiting for.
Right.
I mean, I don't mind.
How are you feeling now that you've seen both Miss Marvel and Obi? Like, you're watching both simultaneously, essentially. Them releasing on the same day. Obviously, you're still watching Obi first, but
yeah, but
how
I'm not watching them both on the same day though.
Okay.
It took me a couple days to finally watch Miss Marvel because I was gonna wait to watch with Mom, but
curiosity got the better of you.
Sure.
I'm actually surprised. I really would have thought you would have waited out.
I know. But it's like, it's advertising everywhere.
It is.
And it's like just one episode. It's not like Moon Knight, where the show was done. Anyway, yeah, Kenobi. I had a thought. I lost what it was.
Oh, Joker 2.
Yes. We knew this was coming. The title was weird, but we'll see what it is.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, depending on what they do, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I would have liked them to do just different origins of different villains with the same style.
But if it makes money, then gotta do a sequel, I guess.
Right. So.
And also, we were talking about time. Like this, it seemed like the movie happened so long ago enough that I thought it wasn't getting a sequel.
At least I thought more about it, I hope.
I mean, whatever it is, at the end of the day, I hope it's good.
Sure.
Apparently, Lady Gaga is in talks to be Harley Quinn.
I don't know about that. Harley Quinn. Oh boy.
Hey, maybe we'll get you a Harley Quinn movie.
See,
in a different universe.
I'm kind of tired of Harley Quinn.
Again, money. She's a popular character.
She's a popular character, but she's like nowhere as good as she used to be.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Hey, if they get Lady Gaga in, then that's definitely box office money.
Lady Gaga. It's Lady Gaga. Like, come on. How old is she?
30s, 40s?
She's 36. She's not that old.
36.
But like, still, I don't look at her and think, she's Harley Quinn.
not gonna lie, same thought. Yeah, but what happens, I guess.
Well, Joaquin
I just find it intriguing. I could kind of care less right now.
has the facial. Hold on. Lady Gaga's in talks for Joker 2, which is a musical.
Wait, really?
Well, I'm not gonna.
Are
Okay.
you serious?
See, I don't know. We'll see.
I cannot take that seriously.
See, if it's a musical, it means they're trying to do something.
Oh my
Where
god.
this is how the Joker or maybe Harley Quinn views the world as a musical. And they're playing that mental health card. Which they did with the first one, but it was different.
I
See, really depends on execution.
either
With the
this is the
explanation of mental health, it makes sense to me. So we'll have to see.
this makes me more intrigued and less intrigued at the same time.
Sure. Yeah, no. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, anyway. Luke Cage, I just,
Why are you talking about that again?
because I'm trying to transition back to the stuff I've been watching.
Oh. Well, what else have you watched besides
Yeah,
that?
so I finished the anime that I was watching. There was rewatching Code Geass. It's cool. Fine. And then I watched one more anime, and I think I'm done. It's called Little Witch Academia, which was really good. No, it's family friendly. It's like the way you can describe it is it's Harry Potter if it was made by Disney.
Interesting.
And your main character can't use magic.
Question. Is Harry Potter worth watching? In your opinion?
See,
I'm not that interested. It's almost like a similar like Star Wars conundrum.
right.
Except I was more interested in watching Star Wars than I would be Harry Potter.
I think it's an eventually type thing.
Okay, I'll keep it as that.
I would prioritize Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Over Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
But like Harry Potter is like one of those eventually get to that, Because like I do eventually want to read the books. Will I ever? I don't think so. But eventually I'd want to.
Right. So John, guess what?
What?
I actually watched 2 movies this week.
Wow.
I know, right?
One of them was Toy Story 2, I believe.
Yeah, and there's a movie before that.
Bug's Life?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw your reviews. A Bug's Life on Letterboxd. That was funny.
Thank you. I'm glad you thought it was.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I see what about Bug's Life. Like halfway, probably not even halfway through it, I'm like, I know where this is going. It's like, I know this was so early on in Pixar's career, but I'm just like, this just set up your formula.
Yeah. So, you saw the formula.
And then thinking about it, like, oh my gosh, Toy Story had a similar formula. Of the idea, like everyone turning on the main character and He screws up. Like, I think about the time when Woody's at the window and he's calling out to his friends.
Mm.
And they're like, we're not going to help you. And he's like waving Buzz's arm. And they're like, oh, you killed Buzz. And everyone turns against him, even though they were already against him. I don't know. It's just like pretty similar. Bug's Life, like, it's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's just nothing special.
It is nothing special.
It's intriguing, but not intriguing enough. You know what I mean? It's intriguing more probably because it's my first time watching it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh, history and whatever. And, you know, I had seen the logo throughout my whole childhood. And I've never actually watched the movie. And then, like, oh, it's intriguing to finally watch this. But at the same time, just like, I don't know. Like, there are fun characters. Like, the circus aspect was kind of fun. But yeah, just like, it is what it is kind of thing. 3 stars.
That's a good number.
Yeah, it is. Because I think it's like, it's average, but it's not a bad average. You know what I mean? But it's not like blow me away, even for an average movie.
Right.
Yeah, 3 stars. It's an acceptable movie. I thought one interesting was like the animation of like water, which made sense when they were drinking it. I thought that was kind of funny, but then it looked a little weird when it was raining.
You know, it was before Finding Nemo.
It was like from what I heard, like when I was doing my research for Toy Story for like the class I did, like many of these movies, like they had a goal to improve animation, even
Of course.
with like the Good Dinosaur. Like they had a plan of like, we want to make this animation accomplishment. And so despite people not loving Good Dinosaur, like it was a stepping stone in animation.
It was.
So, you know, Wall-E space, Finding Nemo water. So it's like really, really cool to see what, you know, Pixar has done. And again, that's part of the reason why I've kind of wanted to do this, even if I'm not going to make it till Lightyear. Which I'm also low-key thinking about just going ahead and watching Toy Story 3 and 4. But I'll still continue on with my Pixar binge.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not necessarily required for me to watch those, but still, why not? Toy Story 2. I was really surprised. It's really solid.
You hadn't seen it before?
No.
Ah.
Yeah. It's a really solid movie, I thought. Like, because like I didn't necessarily, I had an idea of the plot, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But not necessarily like that I remembered it when I watched it. And you know, it's really interesting, you know, giving toys essentially souls. You know, seeing them, you know, have emotions and trying to figure out things, and you know, Woody, you know, being torn between 2 lives, essentially 2 potential lives he could be having, and you know, seeing, you know, how people care for him, or you know, like it was really interesting, like because again, I guess just after watching A Bug's Life, I was just expecting a rehashing of Toy Story, which from what I'm hearing, is that Toy Story 4? You don't have to give an answer.
I don't think that's the case.
No? Okay. I hear so many different opinions of Toy Story 4. I legitimately don't know what I've heard or what to think, but I'll get there when I get there.
Guess 4, a rehash of 2, you're saying?
Is it 2? I don't know.
It's the most, it'd be the most similar.
Okay. I guess I was just surprised of where the story went, you know what I mean? I think that was kind of, and then, you know, to throw in a second Buzz, the Star Wars reference got me laughing.
And you got the reference.
Yes, I got the reference. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. But yeah, I guess I think the thing is that's a little hard for me is like there's just a certain charm with the original Toy Story movie that doesn't translate as well with this. I think it's obviously, oh, since you like Toy Story, here's another solid entry. You know what I mean?
Sure.
When I went to check my rating at Toy Story on IMDb, I was surprised I had it at IMDb relies on 10 stars, so I was surprised to see it at 8 because I thought it was at 9. So I just went ahead and put Toy Story 2 at 8 as well. So anyway, so Bugs Life, then that was based on a 5 star. So Bugs Life 3 stars, Toy Story 1 and 2 4 stars, essentially. So I think again, it's kind of more or less the charm of the original Toy Story, which kind of makes me like it better. But I was just surprised of just how different but good Toy Story 2 was, I guess. You know?
I think Toy Story 2 is probably my favorite Pixar film.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I watched it a lot as a kid, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's I probably did hear about the miner guy, the prospector being the villain
probably
before,
yeah.
But it still kind of was a little bit of a surprise when it happened, kind of thing, you know? Because obviously your whole focus is on Al, the big chicken guy, so
yeah.
Don't think about
they had the bloopers during the credits. I believe they also just took out one of those bloopers for Disney Plus.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because it was kind of an iffy joke. I'll send you that when I get to that.
Okay. Yeah, let's you're editing out bloopers on Disney Plus, then you can improve the CGI on Disney Plus. Da, da, da.
Okay, so yeah, I'm probably done with anime right now. Probably.
We'll find out. I mean, you're on your little Defenders binge right now. So
right now I'm on Defenders. And I just like trying to. I probably want to spend more time on HBO Max as well, just to like get my money's worth.
Right.
So I'm most likely done with anime. I don't think there's anything else that I want to see that's on Netflix. I'm also just, I've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But that could change. Yeah. I believe I also said something about Kenobi on Discord.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, it's just building up to the finale. That's what I said.
Mm.
I also sent you that post, that image that was talking about the Star Wars fight.
Let me check.
That was from last week. I don't know. We didn't really talk about it that much. But it was essentially just talking about why the fight is more important than just a fight.
Mm. I might have skimmed over it.
Okay.
I looked at it at an iffy time, so I didn't completely read it.
Essentially, for the listeners, it's like Dave Filoni explaining Duel of the Fates.
Right now, I got distracted. Look at that. Now that I
You-
checked something, now I'm checking something else.
He's
Look at
checking
me.
something else. Let's get back on target.
Yeah, we should.
All right, what's next?
What's next?
All right, so Hey Ocean.
Hey Ocean. Let's see if I can sum this up. I'm not going to take super long.
Yeah, Hey Ocean was the mix I sent him. I picked 10 songs from the band called Hey Ocean. The songs were Make a New Dance Up, Maps, Bicycle, Big Blue Wave, Honeydew, Happy Now, The Feels, A Song About California, Fish, and Terribly Stable.
First off, a mindset thing. I just want to throw out there, so you and people know where I'm coming at. I like reviews, but like, they just take so much time, and so I just didn't want to devote a lot of time to like coming up with something like super fleshed out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because there's a review I want to write actually for the Boxen album, but just haven't been able to devote time for that. Second, because you sent me a mix, which is a very well put together mix. I think it flows really well.
Well put together.
Yes.
I just put it as there was no organization. Like as soon as I found a song, I just put it in the mix.
Oh my gosh, John! Thank you for throwing me off.
I'm sorry.
But no, the fact that like it starts with "Make a New Dance Up" like is a great opener. You know what I mean? Kind of
That's
gets
probably
a little
my favorite
moody.
song of this mix.
It is one of my favorites. Yes. It gets a little interestingly moody, and it like kind of ends on the somewhat, happier end. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
that's a pretty unintentional on your end, but it's a pretty good progression. However, the thing is, it's a mix and not an album. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's even harder for me to come up with a review. So essentially, what I'm gonna say, probably even shorter than my intro, is essentially just my thoughts on obviously what I've heard, but of the band. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The band is a very fun, pop-esque group, with their indie vibes, with very fun, danceable songs like obviously Make a New Dance Up, and fun vibes like Terribly Stable, and they know how to have some like one sweet slow track like Maps. They know how to slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely a band that like if you're looking for like just fun like vibes, that's not necessarily quote mainstream. This kind of pop isn't necessarily you'd find on mainstream radio, but definitely a group that you're looking for like oh, I have a little party, a little nice get together outside during the summer. What should I play? I think Hey Ocean is like a great vibe to put on. So yeah, I again, like I said, Make a New Dance Up and Terribly Stable are probably among my favorites. I think a song like The Feels, like it has a really is like I want to like it, but the intro was just a little too long for my taste. I think
The intro is a bit long.
Yeah, I think the chill vibe is kind of cool, but at the same time, like the intro just really threw it off for me.
Yeah, it's not really part of the same style of the rest of the songs.
Yeah. And I mean, again, there's a lot of me that kind of likes it, but the freaking intro.
I chose to just switch it up a bit with that song. Like, let's give us like a slow feel type song.
Yeah.
It feels.
I also I also really do like Maps. I think like it's a really sweet slow song.
Maps is good. I really like Bicycle. It's short and sweet.
Do you? Okay. I wanted to go back to that one, but I'm like, you know what? I could probably just go back to all these songs like 5 times and not digest it as much as I want to.
Right.
It's definitely interesting. For sure.
I more like the music. It's a better story, but I do just like the type of music that it is.
I forgot. Big Blue Wave. That's a fun song as well. It's a really fun song as well.
Yeah, it is fun. Fish is a weird
John.
song.
I was like both times, like halfway through it, like, and then I hear the line "I'm a fish" or something like that. And I'm like, what? I should go back to this, and I don't. But I'm just like, okay.
The fish. I know. Like when we get to that part of the song, I am a fish, and I need water. I don't know. That's probably my favorite part of the song because it's just so weird.
It is.
It just sounds like something you'd hear in a TikTok. I don't know why. But like, it just sounds like someone should do something with that. Anyway.
So you said you had a reason why.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't typically. I'm not really someone who listens to this band a whole lot. Like I've known about them for a few years, but like, I didn't really ever listen to them. But the reason why I say that there's a reason why, because I did meet the lead singer, Ashley Ball, because she voices characters in My Little Pony. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Which is neat. What's a shame though is that not a lot of bronies know the fact that she's in a band.
They should. This band, like, it's a fun band.
Like some did during the early days, back when this band was kicking off, but like now nobody knows anything about this band.
That's sad.
Which is sad because there is some decent music here.
Mm-hmm. No, like it is really fun music.
Mm.
Like,
yeah, I met the lead singer, and so
friend.
That's my story with this band.
Kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I had like songs playlist, so definitely looking forward to whenever they pop up. So, yeah, similar to you, a band I see myself going back to a lot, but you know, I can't deny they have some really fun songs. So, yeah, and then also now like, oh, I'm, you know, it's again play around with friends. I guess they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I have some songs in my road trip mix that I listen to on the way to Branson, so it's fun.
Fun
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's
did
it
you
for
listen to Boxen or not?
I did listen to Boxen.
Oh, you did. What's
Yes.
your 2-sentence review? If you want to give more, that's fine. I'm only expecting 2 sentences.
Right. So this was a little bit of a struggle.
Really?
Yes.
Buddy, there's no screaming.
I know. But it's like the other end of the extreme. Like instead of this being like heavy metal, it's this okay.
Uh-huh.
The music in this, like every song is a song that you'd see in a movie when there's a montage of a character going through a tough time and they're on a road trip to discover themselves.
Album's travel.
I know. And so, like, when I was listening to this, it's like, man, these are the type of music you'd hear in like these montages. Into the Wild is the best example I can give. That's a movie about this person who abandons his life of rich and fame to go out into the wilderness. And like, there's a lot of this type of music that plays throughout the film, and that's what I felt. It feels like song that was made in the 2000s depicting
Wow.
travel of the 90s. That because a lot of this song was used in the 2000s for those type of moments and montages.
Mm-hmm.
But this is 12 songs of this type of feel. I don't like this type of feel because it's like moody, depressing for 12 songs. And I was sitting here like, oh my gosh, Aurora is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. That's too long. I'm dying here. I need something to do. Oh no.
So should I send you the metal album next time?
That being said, I feel like the style of music does match the travel aspect.
Yes.
Especially like Alaska. Feels like Alaska.
My gosh. I love that. Alaska.
Like as soon as I heard that, it's like, huh, this sounds like we're in the Alaskan or Canadian wilderness, and it's called Alaska. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay. I feel like they nailed that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this type of music, I have it in a box where it's part of this moody, depressing style that I don't like to be in. And I was in it for this whole album. I had to start multitasking on just finding images for other podcast stuff. Oh my gosh. And like start looking on Facebook or Twitter. That it was kind of rough on me. I was just waiting for the songs to end and go to the next one. I say it's well done.
Yes.
Except maybe the cold.
The cold I struggle with.
It's weird because then they get into some what you call it? That stupid term. The thing with that do with the voice.
Auto-tune?
Auto-tune. That's the word. I don't know. My brain just died there for a second.
No, you're good. Their voices are so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't need that. Like, right. I just wish it was just their voices.
Mm.
I do agree.
Yeah, that's my 2 bits on this. I don't know if I have a favorite song.
That's fine.
Because I listened to it once.
Yeah.
I don't know. Alaska, sure.
No, Alaska blew me away. So that's fair. I just love like, you know, Aurora, you know, like there's random key changes like Ontario, like it changes speeds. Like there's a groovy part in California.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've also been listening to moody music, whether it's indie or metal. Like I really enjoy like slow, moody songs. So like this does fit my vibe, but also like I found this very creative. Again, like, you know, the change of pace in Ontario, like I think it's really cool. But it's also like, you know, they're just really talented. I see them really talented. So I legitimately love this album. But yeah. John, you're so hard to please.
See, I would pick some of these songs if I were doing a film, and a film about this person discovering themselves. I'd pick one of these songs.
You know what's ironic?
That type of emotion.
You know what's ironic?
They did that.
Yes, there is a short film that uses their songs.
Cool.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well then, you gotta watch it.
I will.
See how it looks. Tell me if it's like depressing. This person is in a rough patch. He's discovering himself again.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That's your guess.
That's
Should I
what
send
it sounds
to you?
like to me. Sure. I don't know if I'll watch it, but sure.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll try to send it after I watch it because there could be a very strong possibility that I send it to you and I not watch it myself and you watch it and you're like, okay, let's talk about this. Like, I haven't seen it yet. It's like, oh, Christopher, you talked about it.
But yeah, I also sent you the Brian Regan
yes
clip of Stupid and School just because Boxen.
Yes. That is a classic clip.
I just thought it was dumb. He's like, Boxen.
That's what I thought of too.
That's the only time I think about this is Boxen. How about 2 boxing of donuts?
It's a classic clip, and that's exactly what I thought of when I first heard of Boxen too. So
Good.
You're not alone. But actually, it's a C.S. Lewis reference.
Okay.
John checks
I
out.
believe Boxen is also German for boxes.
It probably is.
I believe that's what I heard. Anyway, I just sent you the playlist to the next mix.
Yay, another mix. Sorry.
Which is Epic Opera.
Epic Opera.
I mean, the opera might not be epic, but it's songs that have opera or some operatic form that I enjoy.
This is your longest mix yet?
Yes. It is actually. You know, it's 13 songs.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Yeah, 13. The next few are 13.
Okay.
13 is my max.
Okay.
I can't go past 13.
That's a pretty good max. That's a pretty good max.
I got a couple that are 14 that I need to dwindle down.
Need to dwindle down by at least one song.
Yeah, at least one song.
I've sent you a few albums. I am seriously tempted to send you a mix.
You know, I'd love that if you sent me a mix.
But you know what the mix is going to be of specifically?
What?
Come on, John. It shouldn't be that hard. Hint, it's not metal.
Okay. BTS?
I don't listen to BTS.
I don't know.
K-pop.
I'm sorry. You know, I don't know what the kids are into these days. To me, K-pop and BTS are the same thing. No. They're not. Apparently.
Oh, they're not.
See, I'm a boomer.
You're such a boomer, John. You really are. You're honestly older than a boomer.
I am the youngest boomer there is.
Yes, you seriously are.
Mm-hmm. K-pop.
That's gonna be a jolly good time, John.
It is. You know, it is going to be an interesting time. You know.
I could send you the metal mix instead. Would you like that, John?
I mean, here's the thing. At some point, you'll have to make that.
Oh, so you're actually open to it.
Here's the thing. I've made you different mixes with different themes. You can do the same thing.
Okay. Because I essentially promised you that the only metal you're getting is with my top songs, but I guess I'm breaking that, so.
All right. Well, you know, just do what you want. I'll listen.
This is my idea for the metal mix, though. I made a mix for a friend of sorts, where it kind of like progresses, where it starts off light and it gets progressively heavier. So actually, I just got this idea. Would you want me to go the opposite way, where it starts off heavy and ends up lighter?
I don't care.
Because here's the deal. You're gonna die either way.
I'm gonna die. Yeah.
So either you're gonna die at the same rate, if it goes the opposite way, or you're gonna die harder as it gets heavier. Pick your poison.
I mean, just do what you think I'll enjoy the best.
John, you're not gonna enjoy either one.
Right.
Be honest. You're not even gonna enjoy my K-pop, which hurts.
Yeah. I mean, That's me. I mean, you don't enjoy my stuff as much as I do, especially soundtracks.
Okay, but at least I'm not like dying listening to Boxen.
Um, yeah,
Like I like soundtracks. The issue is I don't have as much context as you do.
sure,
You know what I mean?
sure.
Like there are some tracks that you have played that I do like, but means nothing to me. And then you throw in Inception, like I love this, and this is weird because this is the only stuff I know.
Mm-hmm.
Which, gosh, Inception is a good soundtrack.
It's a good soundtrack. Yes.
Did I tell you that my roommate hosted a Inception watch party like a week or two ago?
I think so.
I don't need to watch Inception for 2 years now. Like, because I just watched it with a friend for his first time, you know? That was
Mhm.
awesome. I didn't need
Oh,
to see it again 2 months later,
yeah. I
but I
mean,
did.
it's still a good movie.
It's good. I don't want to watch it again right now. That's all.
Mm.
Because, they're like, here's the thing. Obviously, the initial watch, I want to rewatch it ASAP, right?
Right.
Makes sense. Now that I essentially know the movie, right? Like, it doesn't confuse me anymore, right? Like I feel like I know the movie. Like there's not necessarily anything for me to draw out of it at this point. Like I did catch a few things. And like the one thing you mentioned about like the time score essentially kind of being used at points during the movie. Now that you mentioned it, I caught it. But, in terms of like plot and story, like it makes sense for the most part. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
there are still some few minor confusing moments, but it doesn't hold me up and like, oh my gosh, I can't understand. You know what I mean? I just kind of accept it.
Sure.
So it's just like I don't want to watch it for a good while. That's all.
I get that. Um, Going back to what you were saying about Harry Potter.
Yes.
I forgot to add this, but I'm actually considering just watching those movies again soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Especially there on HBO Max.
Yeah. Also, I got the Lego game.
Fun.
Oh yeah, I bought the Lego game for Lego Star Wars Harry Potter.
I love how you said that, and then you sounded like you just remembered that you did
Yeah,
it.
I remembered. I started playing some stuff. So yeah, that's
Okay.
one of them.
Fun.
And I kind of just feel like watching those movies again.
Mm-hmm.
Will I?
You
Most
might.
likely. Most likely,
Probably
actually.
because you're playing the game and you want to watch them again.
Yeah. That's kind of how it happens, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to the epic opera. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's the next mix for next week.
Mix.
Going down the
Okay.
list of what the songs are. It's Stole the Fates from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. That's the battle music with Darth Maul.
Okay.
The thing I was telling you about earlier.
Yes.
Next is from My Hero Academia. It's an anime. The song, it's two songs put into one because I couldn't find just the one. It's All for One and The Power of All for One.
John, so this is 14 songs.
Technically, yeah. Anime is weird when it comes to finding it because, you know, you can't really find it easily.
Sadly.
Sadly. Next is Konosuba, another anime. The song is called Explosion. Then we have Valet de Chem from Doctor Who. Then we have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, another anime. This is To Be King. Then we have Fear Within from Batman Arkham Knight, the video game.
I'm
Then
excited.
from Death
But
Note, the
it's a
anime.
different composer,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Then from Death Note, the anime, Law of Solipsism. Then God of War, the video game. Then from Lord of the Rings, this is Fellowship of the Rings, Khazad-dûm. From Revenge of the Sith, The Birth of the Twins, and Padme's Destiny. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Lapis Philosophorum. And the last two are from Return of the King, Lord of the Rings, Mount Doom, and the Crack of Doom.
Seems interesting.
Yes. This one, I'm not fully confident on how well it's mixed. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. The
Well,
ending.
let me know if you make changes to it.
I don't know if I will. I just gave it to you. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. You know, I've been as fun as this one is. I just want to be done with some of these mixes. You know. You know, like they say about movies. Movies are not finished; they escape.
Yes. Yes. That makes sense.
So it's the same with this. I'm giving it to you, so it's escaped me. So there you go. Perfect or not, this is my mix of opera music in film, and there's a lot of anime here. 2, 3.
I'm really excited to start on my mix for you, K-pop mix.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great time.
I am
getting your Spotify with like half the songs missing.
Oh, this one, yeah. I'm not excited about that.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You should be.
But like, I don't know what you're doing.
I'll find a way.
I mean, the thing's right here. You can listen to it like this, okay?
I could.
You might get ads. Who cares?
You don't.
Sure. But yeah, that's for, I guess, later. Not next week. Probably the week after.
Probably.
Probably the week after.
I mean, I'll get to it as soon as I can, but we know how that goes with me.
Yeah, this was probably the one that took the most thought to do.
Really? And it still escaped you.
See, yeah, the most thought of just finding this much opera. Because sometimes you don't really think about it. And then you do. And it's like,
And then you do.
It's like, I guess this is opera. Sure.
Yeah.
And then also it's like, opera for like 30 seconds of a 3-minute song. I don't know if this counts. Yeah. So there you go.
Thank you, John.
This is probably my favorite one, but
really,
yeah, my favorite one to listen to at least.
Okay.
And I just like these songs.
I'm kind of excited.
Be kind of excited, you know?
Okay, I'll be kind of excited.
Yeah. We're getting closer.
To?
I don't know, to just having nothing left. There's still a lot of content that left, actually. Including this one. I have 9 mixes left.
9 left.
Yes.
And we've gone through 3?
I don't... yeah.
3 or
4? Yeah. 4 sounds good to me. It sounds
like
good.
3.
3 makes more sense.
Movie, Battle, Oceans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3.
3.
How long has it taken just to do those 3? A lot.
A lot.
A lot. Huh. Like most of this stuff I made like in March.
John, the fact that I haven't sat down to listen to an album for 2 months until yesterday, essentially.
Yeah. No,
I've
I get
been
you.
using this time for you, John. Feel honored.
Yeah, I am honored, but still, live your life faster.
Trying. I got too much going on.
Mhm.
I really do.
Yeah, you can watch some Stephen He videos.
No, John, I don't need more content in my life.
You
I,
do. This
I
is really
really
good.
don't.
This is
I
really good.
bet it is. I'm struggling to keep up with stuff as is.
I bet this could be relatable to you. I don't know.
I
That's
bet it is. I'm just exhausted right now.
be exhausted, you know?
I already am, John. Don't tell me to be more exhausted.
Crazy man.
Yes, yes. John,
Yes.
so are you gonna keep working this job when you graduate, or is this a student-only job?
Student only job.
Okay, so what are you gonna do after college? Get a
See,
job?
I'll have to get a job. Yeah.
And then
Question is where?
I think my bigger question is, will John still be watching stuff when he gets a job? You probably will.
You know, probably like one episode a day at least.
At least. Wow. Okay.
Because I need to watch stuff.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
I'm consumed by watching stuff, you know?
Okay.
Not watching stuff is painful.
Okay. So when you drove out here and you got to the hotel, did you watch an episode of something?
I did.
Okay.
Well, mainly YouTube stuff.
Still.
Like YouTube
Still
can be a
watching something.
substitute for watching
Right.
episodes.
I could go days without watching stuff.
I can't. You know, it's camp. When I worked at summer camp as a counselor,
Oh my gosh.
like the whole
That would
week
have
with
been a
nothing.
glorious time.
Like I'd have to visualize at the end of the day.
Oh, you're John.
I mean, here's the thing: there was no time to do anything
There isn't.
during camp. You know, you wake up at 6, you go to bed at 10. Like all that time is filled with stuff where you have no time to even think or breathe
Yeah, that's a mood.
or build a like proper relationship with the kids. That's
Proceed.
yeah. I mean, it's true. Like my favorite part of the day was right after either breakfast or lunch, where we'd have 30 minutes to go into an office and do paperwork. Because that was the most chill time we had.
Right.
Was to sit there, you're doing your paperwork, you're chatting with the other counselors, but you don't have to do anything with as long as it's done by the end of the week, you know?
Right.
That was a time.
Camp is the time.
But then like I'd get home at the end of the week and binge what I missed.
I remember at camp, I woke up early enough on Wednesday to watch Loki and What If. Like it just happened. Well, Loki, I think What If I didn't really care directly with the time. So I think there was one day, like I probably split it up into 2 different times to watch the first episode of What If, but yeah. Did I do it one sitting? I don't remember. But yeah, I remember like waking up at like 5 and watching the new Loki episode. Oh, and in the last week I got quarantined. And so I ended up waking up early, but like I think I struggled to sleep the night before. And you know, like when you're tired, you're like on like a tired high, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You're not high and you're tired. So it's like a weird tired high. And so I watched that last episode on my tired high. I'm just sitting there. Nothing's digesting. It's only talking. I'm just like, what the frick? Episode ends, I go back to bed. That was a time.
I bet it was. Sure, the whole binge thing was cool. But yeah, that was an interesting time.
Mm-hmm. Did we do camp same? Did you do it 2020 or 21?
I did 19.
We did 19.
Right before the pandemic.
Gotcha. Like, there's no way he did it. 2020. Why?
Yeah, because everything was closed then.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed working at camp. I was just super exhausted.
I don't know if I can do it again.
You can only do things that you subject yourself to.
Right.
I feel
Like since now that I've had like my proper job of working in something that I enjoy,
yes,
it's like I don't know if I can go back to working with kids
I understand what you're saying.
and then dragging them around a bug-infested land and then being poorly trained to talk to them about Jesus. I mean, you know,
I know.
it was a time.
It was a time.
Still got paid, but it was a time.
Yeah, got paid. That's always a pro.
That's the pro.
That's the pro.
Yeah, so what would be next? I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually.
You'll figure it out.
Hopefully there's something
Hopefully.
in Lynchburg.
I mean, I hope so. I mean,
Because like
you have the house.
I have the house. I know that I could go to Branson, but like there's nothing. I had to like discover myself in Branson. You know?
Like the only thing in Branson is Sight and Sound.
I mean,
No,
same
I mean
sounds.
that's not true. The only place you'd want to work at Sound.
That I want to work at Sights and Sounds. And then it's like, where would I live?
I mean, I could help with that. I legitimately could.
You could.
If I'm still here.
Correct.
But I could help with that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I think definitely for your good, I do hope you get something in Lynchburg.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if you're here, but also, like, am I still going to be here next year? Like, because I don't love theater. I really don't. Like, I love Sight and Sound, but I don't love theater. That's my biggest issue.
Yeah. I was talking with Nelson, and like, it's like, oh, I went to Branson, like, you know, with me with Christopher, and he's like, what's Christopher doing in Branson? I was like, oh, he's working at Sight and Sound. It's like, what?
My gosh.
It's like, he's working at Sight and Sound? What does he do? I'm like, he's stage crew. It's like, what?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Like, what's Christopher doing in theater?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it was fun.
Look at me. I beat all you theater majors. I got a job in theater.
I know. You know, it's like it is that, you know?
I don't want to move again. That's my biggest issue.
I don't want to move in general.
Yeah,
because gas is bad right now.
Gas is bad. It's money to move.
You gotta find a house.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I also have 2 cats.
Mm-hmm.
Who've never been in nor house in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I hate moving. But I don't like I already like talked to my dad earlier today moping about my situation. Now I feel like I'm going to rehash it all again. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Because I want
I've
to enjoy what I
moved
do.
enough in my life.
Me too. But the thing is, it's gonna happen again for me.
I know.
I'm sick of moving.
Mhm.
Because we're both similar. We've lived internationally. We've moved several times. It's hard to consider what's home for us.
This is the longest I've been in one place.
How many years?
5
5?
years.
Same. That was the longest I've lived in one place too.
Mm.
It's weird.
Going into 6.
But it's also like you form that attachment and you don't want to leave because
This is my
that
house.
is the most you could consider home.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of thankfully, most of my stuff is still in boxes.
And then like all of these ideas will get thrown out the door if any one of us gets into a relationship.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Because then you gotta think about that.
Yes. Bro, I swear I'm actually really happy to be single right now.
Right. Yeah.
Like seriously. Like yeah, of course I'd like to get married. But right now, boy am I happy I'm single. Like I actually legitimately wish I got married in college. Like
Mm.
now that I'm out of college, now I'm second guessing marriage kind of thing, you know?
Right.
I legitimately swear because when I went into college, I looked down on people who were in relationships, and now I actually realize they were smart. I wasn't.
Right. Like look at the hippies.
And then by the time I got into my last year, it was too late because I was thinking about myself.
Mm.
No, the best time to get into a relationship is probably in your sophomore year because then you have 2 more years to plan out your lives together.
Sure.
Yeah, have a year, your freshman year to mature, meet people, sophomore year, get a relationship, spend the next 2 years figuring out your life. Like legitimately, like that is a good plan. But I mean, like there is an element where like I know I'm a better mature person now. So in some ways that is better. But in terms of like just overall life planning, get married in college.
Sure. Because then it becomes this whole thing.
It becomes this whole thing. Like, you know, like right now I'm surrounded by theater people. So so if I marry one of them, what's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna be stuck in theater my whole life.
For real, you would be.
Like again, like
maybe you'll get your sound position.
But I'd have to mix the same show 400 times a year. I don't want to do that.
I mean,
like you're lucky. You do it 10 times for one show and then you move on to a different show. You know what I mean? I mean, I know it's hard to always, you know, prepare for your show and learn that, but at least it's always different for you. You know what I mean? It's
right.
And there is something cool about the monotony where you don't have to relearn it. But then you do it 400 times a year and that's not fun.
Right. But at least like you have everything down.
Yes, that is the best part about the monotony, about doing something 100 times a year. That you still have to think to not mess up, right? But you don't have to think of what the frick should I do because this is new.
Yeah. And like, all right, this is next, this is next, this is next, this is next. This is good for this. This is good for that. Yep.
Because I legitimately do wish I actually loved my job. Because I don't love doing new things. It's hard to, you know, because again, like if I was doing what you're doing, you know, to learn a new show every month essentially or every few weeks, you know, like that is exhausting and stressful. Not to mention you have school on top of that.
Yeah.
I swear, like whether it's the audio or the deck thing I'm doing, like I legitimately wish I loved what I was doing because it's less stressful. but I don't. Because I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the fact that I don't love theater. It's weird to me. I love what we do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love professional theater of, doing the same show over and over.
Yeah. I get that.
Oh, man. But I don't want to move. And I'm not making enough money to move.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I just spent my $1,000 on car repairs. It's not going to be a handful more months where I could get 1,000, but I'm making a trip in August, so I'm going to spend the money I'm saving on that probably, and now I have car problems. Now it's probably going to go back to that. And now I've got into vinyl, and now the money's going into that as well. Just like
You and vinyl.
me and vinyl.
You got into a terrible time.
I got into it at the worst time possible.
Yeah.
I wish I got into it earlier.
Or later.
But then I would have been in a relationship later, and that would have been an even worse time.
Right, but then you know your situation. Because by that point, if you'll even care about vinyl or even use it.
Here's the thing. I love music enough where I think vinyl is relatively here to stay in my life. You know what I mean? Worst comes to worst, if I end up getting over vinyl, I could sell my collection. You know what I mean? Obviously that takes time, but I have hundreds of dollars that I can make back. You know what I mean? So, but the point is, obviously, the $100 is just sitting on my shelf. That's not going to be sold right now. So, anyways, I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell stuff right now. So,
how's that coming for you?
Slow.
It's not going well for me because I'm trying to sell a few things and it's not going well.
Yeah, I just need to get everything organized.
Mm-hmm.
And then do it. But the organization takes the longest. Once, I actually posted, it's like, great, I don't have to worry about it.
Right. Are you doing bids or buy now?
I do both. I give them the option to buy now. They don't want to be patient with the bids.
Right. I'm starting off with bids, and then I think over time I'll switch to a buy now.
You do both. Do both.
I don't want to do both because what if the bids exceed the buy now? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
What if there's enough bidding where then it actually hits the buy now point? You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
So it's just like if you remove the buy now, then the bids could go higher.
Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. You can have both buy now and bids on the same item.
I know that.
But as soon as someone bids, you can't press the buy now.
Oh, really?
Correct. You can't do that.
I did not know that.
And so really, you want them to go up more than the buy now. And then you start playing the psychological game of having your buy now being more than a reasonable price, but your bid is at a good, reasonable price.
Now I know, John. Now I'm rethinking everything.
It's a brain game.
It is a brain game.
You really have to start thinking about it, though. Once you experience it, it's like, okay, now like this price range isn't working, like reduce it or something like that. Change the strategy.
I think eventually, like some of these bids, I'll just switch to a buy now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's sitting there long enough, then what's the point of bidding? Because then if someone bids, it's just going to be that one bid.
True.
So it almost makes sense to switch to buy now. But
I'd still say do both. Like, do whatever price you want for the bidding, and buy now, $5 extra. It doesn't hurt either way.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you're getting paid.
That is true. Cool. Thank you. Now I know.
That's eBay marketing stocks with John. That's not how you call it. But eBay.
Mm-hmm.
eBay
Selling on
selling, retailing with John, who's only sold 1 or 2 items. Yeah,
eBay's awesome if it works for you.
I'm trying a new strategy.
How are you?
Yes.
What is this new strategy?
So, but I've been like selling my items, my figures, 5 at a time.
Because that's the limit.
Hmm?
That's the limit, right?
Like 5 items per, selling.
Yeah, that's
Listing.
the limit I have too.
That's like a nice limit. But then, like, depending on the items, because like some of them aren't great, and it's not very cost effective. So now my next idea is to have 10 to 15 in one listing. A big bulk.
I feel like it depends how desperate you are.
Right, but it's also like people are going to be like, more items.
Okay, so like there's one listing I saw that has a vinyl I want, but it's like 3 of them. It's a listing of 3. And I already have one of them. And I don't want one of them. I just want the one. You know what I mean? Now, I still think that one, if he just did that one, it'd be out of my price range. But I'd be more willing to consider that. You know what I mean?
It's always like very painful when you just buy one, and then you see a bulk listing where you could have just gone out with others as well. It's like
I feel like it depends. Like your thing with you're selling Legos, right?
Right now I'm Star Wars action figures.
Star Wars action figures, like that almost makes a little more sense.
Yeah, so action figures, it makes more sense to do bulks. Same with Legos.
But like with vinyl, it doesn't to me.
Right, vinyl.
But that's what this one person is doing. Just like, no.
Depending on how much you're selling in your listing.
3. He's selling the 3 for 500. Which, I mean, they are rare. So, like, kind of makes sense. But at the same time, I got one of those for 100. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I did spend $100 on one vinyl. So the good news is that if I decide vinyl's a joke, then I can sell that one for 100 because it's rare. So I actually could. So
sure. I mean, you can always resell.
You could.
I bought a couple video games. I didn't really like them, so I might sell them.
Probably a good idea.
All right, is there anything else we want to talk about today?
Do we want to keep talking about our existential crisis of life? With gas and jobs?
No. If it's a different topic, then sure. But none of the same with that,
You want to talk about college?
Well, it's summer break now, so it's not much to talk about college.
I think we're done.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.